Welcome to MSG Presents. I'm your host with the most, the man with the plan, the Scottie Pippen of podcast pimping. Good morning, Chicago and the rest of the world. Welcome to the Money, Sex, Gen X podcast. I'm your host with the most, the man with the plan, the Scottie Pippen podcast pimping. All right, baby. I'm joined by the Rasheed Wallace podcast knowledge, my homie, my brother, my co-host, Big Stu.
Thank you, brother.
What's up, man? Yeah. Get it in, man. It's our first live episode. You know what I mean?
We got a couple people in here working with us to the crew.
Man, we got some experts in here helping us get it in. Yeah.
What season is this? Episodes this season?
Man, this is 8. This is 8. It sounds strange to say, but it's 8, episode 51. It's a fun topic.
They don't even know us.
Don't even know us.
They don't even know us.
Yeah,
We brand new to them.
No question.
Damn,
No question.
This is episode 51.
51. Stu,
Where we at?
before we dive in, though, brother, how you been, man?
I've been all right.
It's been like a year since we did an episode.
Last episode.
Yeah. What you been up to?
Brought it back, man. Bettering myself.
Okay, tell me more.
Spending time with myself.
All right.
It'll come out in the episode.
All right.
Just working on me.
I got you.
Doing that shadow work, that mirror work.
All right.
You know, now I'm about to work on just getting healthier. As I get older.
Got you.
Stay healthier.
Okay.
What about you, man? What's been going on?
I've been doing cool, man. I'm doing all right for an old man.
You ain't
as
no
I
old
say.
Man. You keep saying
Yeah. I look young, but I'm getting kind of old, man. It's cool. We got to stop thinking that saying you old is bad. It ain't nothing wrong with it, man. It means you've been around and you're still here.
Okay.
That's how I see it.
I'm going to sit with that.
Okay.
I don't like, old man.
Okay. All right.
You know, are you Unc? Are you OG? Are you Uncle OG?
Hey, man, they going to call us, we Unc regardless at this point. No question.
I'm getting the OG now.
Getting OG, okay.
Money Ma was talking to me the other day. He said they calling him Unc now.
Wow.
Money Ma, you ain't even in your 30. He's 35.
Wow.
They calling him Unc now.
Yeah.
So, and I do notice the shorties is calling. I'm OG now.
OG. Okay.
I ain't Unc no more.
I'll take that.
It's better than I don't want to be grandpa. I ain't ready for grandpa.
Nah, I ain't ready for that either.
I ain't ready for grandpa.
Yeah, no doubt.
Shout out to all the grandpas out there. Shout out to you.
No disrespect.
Grandpa,
Yeah. Now I got to ask you about this as we keep it moving. I know you started DJing.
I did.
Yeah. And I told you, man, I was hating a little bit. I'm not a hater, but I did hate a little bit when I saw that. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, hey, look. We talked about it briefly in one episode. I do remember you always talked about it. That was one of the things we connected on.
No doubt.
But when I was 14, I wanted to DJ, wanted to Technique 1200s. My mother was like, absolutely not. You need to bring that math grade up. You focus on them books. I'm not investing. And that was 40 years ago. So in December of 2024, I just made the decision. Now I'm about to start DJing, and I've just been going at it just for the passion and the love. And I'm having a lot of fun with it, man.
No question. You're definitely doing your thing. Yeah, for sure. Keep sending me those blends. It's inspiring. You showed me a little something today, which I appreciate. So, yeah, I'm going to get
Shout out to Mesac.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mesac on the lessons. Mm-hmm. Shout out to one of the homies, man. One of my former students gave me the equipment to start. It was a gift. And so that was what got me started on that. And then Mesac came through, gave me a lesson that I paid him for because he's a professional.
No doubt.
And that's what it was, man.
All right, cool. So you floated something I think we should do. So when we start going across the world during our show, we were talking about maybe you and I DJ a little bit.
Yeah, man. Come on. Get the equipment. Let's do it. We can start curating some stuff, man.
Okay. I like that.
Keep hip-hop alive.
No doubt. Hey, look, MSG family. So we definitely want you to subscribe to our YouTube. Scott has that popping. So, well, we saying popping. We got about 200 subscribers. That's good.
You help us out.
Yeah,
we need some more subscribers.
Yeah, we doing good.
The content is good. Please like, subscribe, share this content. It's absolutely dope. We won't let you down.
Absolutely. And we are streaming in 74 countries, 672 cities globally. So we're excited about that. You can find us on Apple, Spotify. What's the other major streaming platforms?
We're on
Buzzsprout,
YouTube,
all that.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But please, if you're watching, just hit the subscribe button.
Yep.
That'd be dope.
No doubt. And we just started a Patreon. So listen, if you're out there on the audio, like say you're listening in France or Germany, we don't know who you are. We want you to tap into our community. Let's take these conversations and move them over to the community, keep having them. And then we can find out who you are.
Yeah, because it's good to know who you are, not only just who you are, but we want to know your name. We want to know your birthday. We want to, want to know what you're interested in. We want to build this community, so we do need that information. But we know that it's not free, so trust me. On this episode, we have a free downloadable.
Yeah.
If you just share who you are, we'll let you download something based off this episode today, which I'm super excited for.
No doubt. And I'm going to mention this real quick. So something else Stu and I are doing, say you are a professional out there. So you might be a psychiatrist, a lawyer, whatever. And you're like, listen, I'm dope at what I do, but I'm kind of worried about being in the media. It's something I want to do, but I don't know how to do it. Right. We got a package for you. So what we're going to do is, it's going to work real smooth like this. So it's like you come to us and we put together an episode that you will be in, right? So we do the episode, we shoot it with you. Then we edit the episode, we cut up the clips, we distribute the clips, we take the audio and distribute that globally. And then we do a press release. Okay. So you're deep in the media after that. And then as we're going through the process, we'll coach you.
And well. If you are where we are shooting, you have an opportunity to come and actually be on that episode. So that'll be dope too.
Yeah. Yeah. So keep an eye out on that. All right. So let's get to the episode at hand. So this is episode 51, Stu. The episode is interesting. So it's you're not the person they imagined. What? You're not the person, Stu.
What you mean?
You're not the person they imagined.
They imagine.
Yeah. That's heavy, right? So you're not the person they imagine, navigating relationships when you don't live up to the hype. Man.
I mean, like they you sent a representative, they think you sent a representative. Like when the honeymoon stage is kind of phase out, like who are you? What you talking about?
All of that. Yeah. So they had you hyped up in their mind, like, oh man, Stu is this, Eric is that, whoever. But then when they get in a relationship, it's not what they had in their head at all. Or maybe it is initially and then it changes down the road. Now, here's why I thought about this episode, Stu. So I was really locked in on this Remy Papoose situation. I don't know if the younger people are keeping up with this. These are two old head rappers or Gen X. They're Gen Xers, right? I won't call them old. They're in a beautiful relationship. Remy went to prison for shooting somebody. Papoose held her down with the baby while she was in there. So it was this beautiful love story, right? I thought everything was good in it. But recently, they started falling out on social media.
Yeah, I saw that. That was petty.
Yeah. I went down the rabbit hole and started watching all the videos and all of that, because I just couldn't believe it, right?
Right.
But at the end of the day, and I'm not judging them, right? Because I've been in the same situations, but just not on camera like that. But here's what it boiled down to. One thing.
What's that?
Disappointment.
Somebody got disappointed.
Both of them.
They were disappointed.
Disappointed. Two people disappointed in one another.
And then they lashed out. Not only were they disappointed, but then they lashed out and they finger pointing at each other.
Publicly.
Publicly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to address this.
So we can't judge, right? So this happens every day. We're in relationships, we disappoint. It don't even have to be romantic. It could be your homie.
That's right. Family member,
co-worker.
People that disappoint.
Yeah.
We're talking about being a disappointment.
Yeah, no doubt. Being a disappointment. Or having a disappointment, right? You could be the person that's disappointed.
Yeah. Disappointed in the child.
Yeah, that's right.
The child being disappointed in the parent.
That's right.
Damn.
Yeah, you're disappointed in your lady, your father, your mother, whoever it is. So I was like, let's do this episode and really talk about this in detail and then talk about how do you navigate it. Yeah. Okay. That's gonna be dope. So let's get into it. All right. So Stu, I'm going to ask you this to set it off. The situation is like this. Your flaws shattered the idea of who your partner thought you were or thought they wanted you to be, right? So you're in this situation. Have you had these moments where you knew you weren't living up to what your partner wanted you to be, whether it was a fantasy or just their expectation?
Yes, and there was plenty of times where I set it up that way. I maybe did hype it up. They got me hype me up. That hype me. Yeah, there was a time I probably did hype up myself knowing that I probably couldn't match that.
Oh, you did it knowing you couldn't
I
match
think
it?
there was a time clearly fronting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you worried about the fact that you couldn't
Not
match
at
it?
that time.
But you knew it could come back later.
But you asked based on the question that you asked. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if I'm being honest. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
You ain't never built yourself up more,
sure.
knowing that you was kind of.
We all have.
Okay. I'm just wondering.
Yeah, we all have.
Okay. But I think the piece is how many people can really admit that.
That's a good question. Can you admit it?
Can you admit that?
That's what you did.
You've been the one that's like male or female, even with like I think even when you talk about with your kids,
mm-hmm.
when it comes down to like how was school, for example,
yeah,
or how was your day, you know, maybe they don't want to say that they got into an argument with a friend. Maybe they don't want to say that they talked back to a teacher.
Yeah.
Right. So I think, man. Like, I think we all kind of don't tell the full story of like who we are, what we bring in, to avoid maybe disappointing people.
True indeed. And what does that sound like that? Those moments, like what was said in those moments?
I think for me, I've heard the question like, I thought we'd be somewhere else by now.
Yeah, like I've heard that.
I thought you'd have figured that out by now.
Oh, that hurts.
I thought you
figured that out by now. Okay. Yeah.
You don't know this by now?
Yeah. Yeah.
You lived all this time and you.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you a few I heard. You know, I thought you were different.
Damn.
Anybody heard that?
I thought you was different.
I thought you were different.
Damn.
You ain't different. You're the same.
Different.
Man. Right?
I am different. No.
So that wasn't nice to hear. I never thought you would do that to me. Anybody heard that? That's hard to hear. I thought you were better than that.
Those are expectations, man. What are these expectations? Wait. Foul, man. Flag on the play. What? That's projecting. That's almost like gaslighting type.
Yeah.
Hold up, bro. Hold up.
Well, wait till I tell you this one.
Uh-oh.
And you may have heard this one. You ain't really on shit.
Ah.
That hurts. That hurts. Somebody trying to hurt your feelings now, right? You ain't really on shit. Like it's like, you know, you portrayed yourself to be at this level, but you're not really on it. And then here's the one that I think irritates me the most. You're really not who I thought you were.
Damn.
You're not really who I thought you were.
Damn.
So those are tough. Yeah. So you've heard a few of those. It sounds like maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else heard those, or is it just us? Okay. All right. Cool. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah.
Now, going back to that point, like how much of that did you put out? Did I put out there versus how much did they build up in their own mind?
See, that's what I want to get into. Am I responsible for what you put in your own head? I'm only responsible for what I played up. Right. So it's like if I tell somebody, I'm a millionaire and I'm not, I'm responsible for that.
That's a lot.
But if you put something in your own head, am I responsible for that?
I thought you, but you can't. Oh, right.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh, man, that hurts. All that hurts. Because there are those expectations, even when you're just thinking about dating, like, you know, the expectation is that the man will pay. At least in my generation, as a Gen Xer.
Sure.
I don't know how it is for millennials. Do y'all guys when y'all date, do y'all pay? Yeah. Is that the expectation that you pay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that's a. And then I think the other part with that, just that scenario, paying for dates. Like I don't always have it. You know what I mean? Like, but
I think that's cool though, as long as you don't say you have it. If you tell them up front, I ain't got it.
Damn, do you do that? Do you be like, I ain't got it?
I have.
You said I ain't got it?
I've said that, yeah. I ain't got it today. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have it. It's cool. I mean, you know, they can make a decision from there, but I didn't lie. And then they can say, well, I got it. Or they can say, hey, I'm out. It's cool either way. Yeah. That seemed like it bothered you a little bit.
Be avoiding it.
You don't want to say that. I understand that.
I never want to say I ain't got it.
Okay.
I want to always have it.
I understand that.
And so maybe that part of that expectation is the one I build up. So to their point, maybe I ain't there yet. But in my mind, I'm trying to be on that too, though. But I ain't.
See, I'm saying it because I don't want you to feel like I'm always going to have it, even if I do.
You don't want to be relied upon. Damn.
What you mean, like not at all, or just in the dating stage?
No, I'm talking about like early dating. You know what I'm saying? Like we not married,
You're trying to rely on me too fast.
so don't think I'm gonna pay for everything. I ain't got it. I actually, you know what I'm saying? I got 3 kids. You know, I don't have it. And you can make your decision from there. You know what I mean? So you would feel bad saying it in that situation.
As a
second
man,
date.
As second date. I got second date.
Okay.
I got third date. I got fourth date.
And I done heard women tell me like, even just saying I don't have it, it just don't sit well for them.
Yeah.
They like just don't tell me. Like I understand. They be like I pay for it, but you just saying it. You hoping they'll be your support and feel you out. But sometimes it just mess up your masculine perception.
That's right. I agree.
But he
Like,
says
you're speaking on being broke. It's kind of turning me off a little bit, even though I can accept and understand. Sometimes that's a tricky place. You don't know which woman you can say this or not to, or how you're gonna say it when you need to say it.
That's a good point. And I think what I'm looking for is a woman who doesn't mistake me saying I don't have it with I'm broke. I don't have it for this.
I ain't got it for this.
But I got it for the rest of my life. The mortgage, the 3 kids, the car notes.
Right.
I don't have it for what you talking about.
Right. And if you're going to base how we move forward based off of that, that's problematic.
Kick rocks.
That's problematic.
Yeah. For me. That's just me,
Because I was asked recently, like, okay, here's Stu's moment of transparency.
All right, let's go.
Stu's moment of transparency. Quite recently, I was asked, quite recently I realized in my dating experience that I was the side dude. I was the sneaky link.
What, man? With just one woman, or with the women that you've been
with the women that would find time to be with me? I'm the sneaky link.
You
right?
Side dude category with every woman they starting to categorize.
Right. So then the question became, did I enjoy being the sneaky link?
Okay.
And the part of it was like, yeah, ain't no expectations.
Right.
Ain't no real expectations. No, I don't have to deal with those expectations.
But you didn't know, at first you didn't know you were the side dude. Right?
But when I realized that no, I'm the side dude.
Ah, man.
You have to realize you the side dude.
Yeah. Just by things that happen, you kind of know.
Side dude.
Yeah.
You're the side dude. You know if you decide. Now, fellas, where my camera at? Fellas. You better ask yourself, I'm not talking about if you're married. If you're married this time, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to you dating millennials right now. And Gen Xers. Are you the side dude? And why? Are you afraid of commitment? Because I've been married and divorced and started another relationship. So I've been married, been divorced, been in another long-term relationship. That didn't work out.
Okay.
I have 2 baby mothers. This is Stu's moment of transparency. Play the music.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Stu overshares a little bit.
We need to hear it.
Yeah, right? So then at some point, you go and you clear your space, and then you get back out there, and then you realize you're dating, but you the side dude. Are you the side dude, and why? Is it because I'm afraid of the commitment again? Not meeting the expectations?
Yeah. What's the real reason?
Do I not want the expectation?
Right.
Altogether.
Now, what conclusion did you come to?
I haven't come to one yet.
And don't forget, we got a Gen Z in the house that we can ask this question to. I want to hear what he has to say about this.
Dating?
Would he be okay with being a side dude?
No.
You would not be okay with it?
Well, in certain scenarios,
Okay, which ones?
Have you ever been the side dude?
yes.
Dang.
And how did you feel when you found that out?
I felt weird, but it changed when I realized what my role would be.
Okay.
And my benefits I would get.
Okay, by being the side dude. Okay.
Expectations.
All right.
Expectations.
Yeah.
Let's talk about these expectations.
Gen Z, I like that. Okay.
Have you ever been the side dude?
Yeah. I've been the side dude. But unfortunately, actually I almost got, I don't know if I can say this on camera, but I could have been unalived by being the side dude in this one situation because the female was being real trifling, man. Like she's bringing me in the crib and it's a guy that lives there. You know what I mean? And he was a live wire. So if he had found it would have been a problem. But anyway, yeah, I've been the side dude, but not always knowingly. I think I don't really like that role. You know what I mean? Because it's like if you're with somebody, be with them.
That's when
you know what I mean? But sometimes you're in the situation and you don't know it. You know, so
I'm talking about knowing that this. I think at some point you got to know. You can't. I don't even think at this. Nah, look, expectations. I would expect that us, right? Us guys that are listening to this content, like if you don't know this, know this. You got to pay attention to the signs. You should be looking at. First of all, let's be honest with yourself. What you trying to do in this relationship?
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking for? Are you looking for it to be monogamous or not? And then be honest with yourself from there.
Yeah.
Like that's just step one. And so my point in that is like you gotta know where you stand in this relationship.
True indeed.
For yourself or for whoever you're dealing with. One or the other, if not both.
Now, here's why I think this brings it back to the topic. So the lady that we talking about, or the ladies we're talking about, and so you find out you're the side dude, but that wasn't your fantasy that you had in your head. You thought you were the dude. You thought you were the one. And then you find out you're the side dude. How does that change the dynamic once you find out that she would even do that to you or have you in that position?
I've never been in that position.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I've never been in that position because you got to know where you are. And you got to know as a man, you got to know your role. You got to know, well, how you not know? You lying to yourself. Now you disappointing yourself.
Let me ask you something. I agree with you, but what I'm saying is you didn't know you were the side dude. You figure it out. It's not like she told you. So now how do you view her? Even though you cool with being a side dude, but does your view of her change?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, of course, because you had an expectation.
Mm.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Here.
Real versus
you had
ideal.
An expectation. So they didn't meet your expectation
of
them.
Right.
That's still on you.
Right.
That's still on you.
Still on you.
That's still on you. You gotta,
Okay.
You gotta, pay attention.
Cool.
Pay attention. Stop settling. Stop BSing yourself. Stop playing like why you want to be in a relationship anyway?
Mm.
Why you want to be in a relationship? Why do you want to be in a relationship? Why? Like that's a real question to the audience. Like why? Why you even want to be in a relationship?
Yep.
Why are you dating at this age? Now we talking to us. Like why are we even dating if we're not married?
At this age.
At this age, I'm not married.
Yeah.
And so I got to decide: do I want to be single or do I want to be married?
Absolutely. Now let me ask you something. So you were dating again, and you've been, dating for many, many years. So do you feel like women have the same fantasy about who you're supposed to be, or is it different?
I do believe that women build up whatever they want to believe in their minds, and they roll with that a lot of times without communicating what that is to whoever they're dealing with.
But do you find that they're putting you in the same fantasy every time, or is it different? So let me give you an example. Some people get put into the "I want you to be my husband" fantasy, right? Whether you want to be that or not, that's just what they always get. Some people get put into the "I just want you to love me down" fantasy. Okay. Like what fantasies are you getting put in? Is it consistent or different?
I think for me, it's been consistent. Like be the husband.
The husband fantasy.
All right. Be my. Let's ride off into the sunset together.
Okay. Cool. And you okay with that being in that? That's the fantasy.
I'm trying to hold on to that.
So you like that?
I've been hurt. I've been hurt by it a couple of times. I'm divorced, and in another failed long-term relationship. I'm a little jaded. I'm a little jaded on that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I need to make a decision.
All right.
If you talk, and that's the point that I'm making for the guys. All guys need to make a decision.
All guys need to make
a decision.
All people, actually.
All people. Because this does lie on the women a lot, too.
Absolutely.
In my mind. We do have a young lady in the house, so.
Yes.
I don't know if she's going to say anything or not.
So, look, if you all are just tapping in, I hope she does. If you all are just tapping in, this is the MSG podcast. This is episode number 51. My name is Eric McLeod. I'm with my homie Big Stu. We're talking about you're not the person they imagined. navigating relationships when you don't live up to the hype. And we're just talking about it. Like, have you not lived up to the hype? What is the hype? What I want to go into now, Stu. Yes.
Let's take a quick.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, cool. Because that's about the 28-minute mark.
Yeah,
See, I told you I forgot all about it.
But you got to stop.
I'm actually glad you said that, but I had you probably didn't even know because I turned it off.
Dang.
Oh, okay.
That's all you got to do. So,
That was just on that one, though, right?
yeah, it's literally just this.
So everything looked cool? The set and everything?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
And I'm listening. You know what I'm saying? I'm enjoying the sound.
Okay.
What I was thinking too, I gotta look at this other mic though. I was thinking if we're gonna be talking, I'm gonna give them the third mic. That way, so you can get the better audio.
Okay.
But I don't want to mess with it right now.
No, it's cool.
You know,
Yeah.
Going forward.
Okay.
Going forward.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because last time we was at the other spot, the dude was in the background talking. So it'd be good to get him the mic. So going forward, yeah. So okay, 3, 2, and
All right. So yeah, thank you all for tap. So listen, I'm asking the audience this question, right, that I just asked Stu. Are you getting put inside the same fantasy every time? And what I mean by that, let's take the word fantasy out. Do you have the same expectations that's getting placed on you every time you get in a relationship? Or is it different? Which fantasy are you getting put in? And what fantasy are you trying to put other people into? Is it a consistent one or is it different? Just something to think about. All right.
It changed with the person.
It changed. You feel like it changes with the person?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But I was thinking, like you said, if you can put in the same consistent fantasy, that means something that you're doing consistently, right?
I think so. I really think it's a pattern.
It's different people taking you the same way.
Yeah.
I feel like it gotta be you at this point.
Exactly.
You're coming off like you would get money, take you around the world type of guy, and they like, oh, girl, take you.
And what if that's true, but you're not doing anything special at all?
As far as what you mean, not doing things.
Like, what if that is the expectation that they have of you, but you're really just being.
Where did you even get
where did you even get this from? Because I'm just doing me. This is what you meant. This has been me from day one. Like, what part of me got you thinking that it's
but if it's happening
something that is not?
If it's happening consistently, then it's something that you're doing.
Then what? I want to know what that is.
I like that take though.
I want to know.
You might have to ask.
But I think that has something to do with the reflection of who that person is
That's
that
what
you're
I'm talking
engaging
about.
with.
Yeah.
So if that person is being consistent in who they are as an individual, that person, that just shows what they lack in some of their relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's more of what that person has to do with, more or less than
Quick pause. If you are enjoying MSG Presents, make sure to subscribe and share. Now back to the episode. Okay. Yeah, I like both of those takes. It's like, on one hand, we need to maybe ask, like, well, why did you think I was the get money, take you around the world type? You know what I'm saying? Like, just ask them. Like, where did you get that from?
A lot of times what you'll hear will be, well, I just figured.
Then you come to this take where it's like, that's what my dad was that. You know what I mean? So I'm looking for that. You know what I mean? My cousin or whoever. Yeah. Right. Right. Or my mother told me that's the type of dude I need to have.
And I'm thinking guys don't show up like that. Guys don't have these expectations of women that exceed much. Really, our expectation of, is very shallow and basic. We're not expecting them to be much more than what they present themselves to be in that moment.
Now, I don't know if I agree with that.
Talk about it.
Yeah, we expect that.
Talk about it.
I mean,
talk about
I'm going to say this, and I don't know if people agree with this, but like, first and foremost, we know that like your mother is probably going to be the foundation of what you're looking for in a woman. Somewhere in there. It might not be on the surface, but I found that it's in there somewhere, right? So I think it's that, but also, man, it's a lot of women that be like, yo, I couldn't meet this brother's expectations. He wanted too much out of me. He wanted to have sex all day long. Then he wanted me to cook breakfast and dinner and lunch. And then I got to go to work and take care of the kids. I do think men, we do have a lot of expectations.
See, what I'm saying is, while you might see that as an expectation, I do believe that is a lot of how I'm basing it on how it's presented from the beginning. So if in the beginning that was the line, the hook, line, and sinker, then I might expect that all the time. And I guess that goes the other way. If I'm going to always pay for every date, everything, then that does become the expectation.
You pay for the first day.
You pay the first, second, and the third.
What happened?
Yeah.
Then I
On
guess
the third one, you just like, hey, could you get this one?
it's like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You broke pattern.
No doubt.
This ain't the route we run.
Right.
But also depends on, I think, the age in which you're dating. So you have to speak in terms of, in your younger years, in your 20s versus where you are in your 40s and 50s. You do date differently.
Yeah.
I think it's a level of maturity and what you're looking for.
Right.
So when you get a little older in your date, and even if the guy pays for the first couple of dates, if you're a more mature woman, you might say, hey, I got it this time. Or you might initiate the date. So it just kind of
just say it's on me. That's fine. I've had that a couple of times. Mature women like, let me take you out.
Yeah, no question.
Like I got you.
Yep.
And they insist. They insist. I'm like, all right. And at one point I'm like, cool. Another point, like, man, that feels good.
No doubt.
That feels good.
Yeah,
no doubt.
It's appreciative.
That's great.
They make us dig back deep into the water.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Now you want to do it. Exactly. No doubt. No doubt. Yeah. So it sounds like you got a fantasy, for yourself in terms of what you're looking for in your mate.
Yeah, mine. I do.
Okay. All right.
Don't you?
I don't know.
You don't know if you have.
I don't know if I would use the word fantasy.
Why you put that word on me? We gotta go by the same. We talking fantasy.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
An expectation.
Yeah.
Okay. Expectations.
Where does it move into fantasy though? So we all got expectations.
Fantasy is immature, bro.
No, is it though?
Fantasy is immature.
Is it? So we got the expectation, but then it moves into this other realm of fantasy. Is that immature? Is that kiddish?
I think so.
I don't think so, man. Fantasy.
Disney did it to us. We talked about this before. I blame Disney, bro.
Okay. Well, let's do this. And I don't like to tell people this, and they be looking at me crazy, but I did mess with Scientology for a minute.
Yes.
All right. And a black person brought me in. It wasn't all that cult stuff that they be talking about, but they keyed in on words. So what does the word fantasy actually mean?
Okay. You have
I don't know.
Can somebody research? Can we get somebody?
Can you look up the word fantasy real quick?
Fantasy by definition.
I just want to make sure we right.
I think for me, I think the fantasy is immature. It's like what you saw based on your parents, what they showed you, or based on what the media showed you.
Okay.
And if I really want to go there, I know this has to be a 17 and up episode for sure. But the number one program that teens, adolescents are watching today is, does anybody know? Number one program, genre of programming, adolescents. Reality TV. You think it's reality TV?
The faculty or activity of imagining things, especially things that are impossible or improbable.
So,
okay.
You can write up from that definition.
Impossible or improbable.
The number one programming watched by adolescents, you can do the science out there yourself, is porn.
Okay. Impossible or impossible. Wow. So look, now since
that's how you learn a relationship.
But I'm gonna say this.
That's how you learn a relationship.
That takes me into a whole different direction. It's like a lot of adults watch porn though.
So is it fantasy or is that reality?
It's a fantasy, but it's adults though.
And fantasy is fantasy. And fantasy is okay. Be kids.
It's okay to have a fantasy, brother. It's cool, man.
Of course. My fantasy is being rich on the beach with my woman, rubbing feet, drinking cocktails, watching the sunset. You know what I mean? Enjoying each other's company.
Yeah, dope stuff. No doubt. There ain't nothing wrong with it, man. I just want to get to the point. There ain't nothing wrong with having a fantasy, but
it is.
But there's a but, right?
It is when you make it an expectation of somebody else that's outside of you, and now you holding them in that regard, based on this fantasy that is improbable, and unrealistic, and now you set yourself up for failure from the gate, and now you just created your own misery. Keep it. I'm not gonna do it.
Here's where my mind went. I think that's a great take, but I think we might need help to understand that what we want is not probable. it's not realistic.
It's not realistic.
We don't know that sometimes. If you got a young kid watching porn and they never had sex yet, they're going to think that's what it is. You know what I mean? That's their framing for like what a sexual experience is because they haven't had it yet. So they're going to be rolling into their first encounter with that expectation. Versus a person that's been having sex and then they watch porn, they kind of know like, okay, this is something extra. You know what I mean?
Do all that stuff.
Right. Exactly.
You are based on
My knee don't hurt. I do
experience.
all that.
And which is probably familial, parents, and your surroundings.
Yeah.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Okay.
You are, say it again, because
You are based on your first experience.
You are based on what you see, what you were exposed to. Relationships. Okay. How did you see your parents being in a relationship?
Mm-hmm.
How did that, like, some people see, arguing as a form of love.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's a good
fighting,
point.
Like, if you don't love me, he ain't beat me. He must not love me. He ain't smacked me around. I ain't showing no love. Like,
yep.
My love is bringing flowers. Like, I don't know that.
Because I'm trying to, like, you asked a good question. He got me, like, I'm going to sit on that. I feel like there's still a thin line between expectations and fantasy.
No doubt.
And some stuff seem basic, but we like, is that still a fantasy? Like, my mom cooked and cleaned a lot, but every woman might not want to do that. So me wanting that out of every woman, is that a fantasy or is that expectation?
It's a fantasy of a woman that don't do that.
Exactly.
That ain't who she is.
You think it's
you want her to do what ain't
but it's still a fantasy.
You tripping, bro.
But to Maul's point, it's like you might need help to understand it. It's a fantasy.
Yeah,
You might need help.
I thought it was an expectation, but it could be a fantasy.
Right.
So
Okay.
it's a damn line because that don't sound as fantastic. You just want somebody to cook and clean, but it might not be in their wheelhouse. So
that's not.
fantasy.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
That part.
This is a great conversation. So y'all out there, tell us, like, what's your definition of a fantasy? And like, really what I want to know is, as you're moving out your everyday life, are you operating out of fantasies or expectations or both? Like, how is your life set up? Because some people, I've seen it, and I've seen some women do this, their whole life is a fantasy. A lot of it, right? It's not a lot of reality in there. And then you come into the mix, into the fantasy.
What you mean? What that look like? The woman's life?
Man, I'll give you a good example, right? So the Disney marriage thing, the Cinderella type mentality. People are really rocking like this and they're 30, 40 years old. Here's how I use an example. We did the episode about why do you want to get married? And I think the conclusion that we came to is because really a lot of people are expected to get married. It's not because they want to. What I'm saying is that fantasy starts when you're a child.
Yeah, I blame Disney.
You feel me? Then you got people out here spending $100K on a marriage. That's crazy. That's going into fantasy territory because you're spending $100K on a marriage, but you don't have a house yet. You see what I'm saying? But you think that's what you're supposed to do. So who am I to judge? That's how you've been programmed. That's how you've been socialized. And that goes to my next point that I want us to talk about, you all. This is a great conversation. So where are we getting these expectations from? We know we're getting it from the media, movies. So that's movies, social media, music. I think music is the one that kind of sneaks in there and gets you into fantasy land and you don't realize it. You know what I mean? Family and community expectations. Here's a big one: past experiences, right? So you had a good or bad experience and that changes your expectations or your level of fantasy, right? Maybe you had now I don't know if this is a episode for kids, but like maybe you had a sexual partner that was like really, really good in bed. Oh, yeah. Far beyond anybody else. And so now, if you've had that experience, when you go to the next person, you might be in fantasy land, thinking that the rest of these women that you come in contact with are going to be able to operate at that level. Just as an example. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's heavy.
Okay.
That's heavy. That's... yeah, man. I'm speechless. That's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah.
Chemistry, yeah. Chemistry, yeah. That's a good point.
But I think sometimes in those instances, sometimes those relationships are just that.
Right.
I think where we become and we have our issues is we try to make those sexual relationships, we fantasize that they can be more than what they are. And the reality is it was just sex.
Right.
So I think that's where, those gray areas come
I'm glad you brought that up because like there's these people that we all encounter where the chemistry is amazing, right? But now you're expecting that same level of chemistry with the next person that you date, and it's probably not going to happen. It may never happen again in life. You know what I'm saying? You met a female, the chemistry was from day one, before you even got into anything physical, just the chemistry was, and now you like, man, everybody I date needs to have that. That could be a fantasy. You know what I mean? It could be unrealistic. Yeah.
Can I ask y'all a question? What do you do if you fall in love with somebody and they're not meeting those things? Do you just leave it alone, or do you just try to work through it?
Was it? My question.
That's a great
was
question.
It love.
Like, you gotta like love. What do you do? You try to lose that love, or
no, I don't understand. I don't
think love is a feeling.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Like,
so, okay, I'm gonna say, was it love?
Was it even love? Like, how did you even find it? No, you BSing yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't know. You thought it was you was living in fantasy.
Okay.
You was living in a fantasy.
No, I'm saying you love someone. Like you said, you feel like you love or think you love someone. They don't match that sexual fantasy that you got from that other person.
Right.
But you still love them, but now you still, they don't match that sexual thing. So do you just like leave that alone, or
That's a great question.
When you say love, like, what's your definition of love?
That part. That's
whatever your definition is. I'm just saying. I don't want to act like I'm giving the definition of love, but whatever. Each his own when it comes to love.
They're not. I don't know if they're the same.
No, that's a good question though, because like the one person you actually love them, meaning you want to do everything you can for this person. It's a level of connection.
That might not be the person that you have sex with. That's not your wife. So you're equating sex with marriage and love, and they're not always the same. You're lucky.
But he's saying, what do you do though?
I'm telling them. I'm literally telling them, if they don't match your sexual chemistry, you probably should stop doing it.
Nah, I don't agree with that.
Well, it depends on what your
I don't agree with that.
It depends on what your non-negotiables are. Like, what is most important to you in the relationship?
But is this your wife? This is a girlfriend?
No, it's a hypothetical. Like just
a hypothetical what? Wife or girlfriend or somebody just dating? Friend?
Let's say girlfriend for now, because you haven't got to the wife level because you're still thinking about the thought of.
So this is your girl. This is your girl. You're not dating. This is the woman that you're moving towards marriage with.
Yeah.
And you might be able to. You might be able to fix it, but everybody don't have to be honest about their non-negotiables. Like,
let me ask this: why do you have to fix it though? It's like the other woman you got the sexual chemistry with, but she's not wife material. So then you got the lady that's wife material, but she's just not that sexually. It's cool.
This is the issue. So if you're dating too many people at the same time, you're really not giving one person your undivided, right? So you're not able to see clearly everything or the possibilities of what it is because you're wearing yourself too thin.
That's why
I feel you on that book.
That's why I'm the sneaky link.
Yeah, that's why it's happening.
That's why I come back to being.
But I want to get into this though. Like, what if you are only dating one person? You're only dating one person. But what Maul, I feel like he's asking is like, I'm dating the one person, but they're not meeting all my expectations.
Sex from the last person.
That might not be the person.
That's not you need to.
See, I disagree with that.
What are you saying?
I disagree with that.
We said maybe that sex is just a fantasy that you had with that last person.
Right.
You're going to not be with this new person because they don't match that sexual fantasy.
Again, is that something that you value in the relationship? So everybody has what they value. Like, is that something that if the sex isn't good, like, oh, I can't do this. Is that something you can, say, oh, okay, but this person does this better, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So you have to decide what you're willing to settle with and without.
I'm basically asking them their opinion. I wanted y'all opinion.
My opinion on it is this: we gotta stop. And I've been married 3 times, so I'm an expert in marriage. But I'm not a good one. I'm not a good expert. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna tell you what not to do. We gotta stop trying to get the current wife to be what the girl that was so dope at sex was. It's 2 different people. It's 2 different people. No, you were saying let it go, and I'm saying nah. That's not. She's wife. She's the wife.
She's not as freaky as your freak.
Right.
That's girlfriend.
No.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying like the person in the past, whatever the title was, but like
he can't let go of that person in the past mentally.
Yeah, he let him go back to himself.
But you let mentally is almost just as powerful as physically. Mm-hmm. The brain doesn't know the difference. The brain doesn't know the difference.
It's true,
right? So you still playing that in your head. We need to address that. Otherwise, that partner of yours will never satisfy you. Never. And then you're miserable. This feel like deja vu. Like I've said all of this already.
Maybe you
at
did.
The beginning of the episode.
I don't know.
You get to it now. Now you get to another
You know what I mean?
I mean, no, I feel you.
Now you're miserable. You're miserable. When I'm working on moving into the space of like real honesty with myself first.
See, I think we are all saying the same thing in a sense because now you realize what happened with young lady in the past. That's a fantasy. Like you might not get to that level again.
That's what you said. You did say that.
Yeah.
You did say that.
So I'm not gonna put that on my wife.
You're trying to put an expectation on her that a fantasy now. It's kind of the question I'm trying to bring.
Yeah, I say it is.
And now it's like, okay, I love her all these other ways, but she don't have sex with me like this other woman did. So it's like, is that a fantasy now? Because like we said, that's the expectation of that a fantasy.
Right.
To not want to be with your wife or your current girlfriend. Go forward with being
I think it is.
Wife.
It could be.
That's freaky as this thought that you have in your mind. Maybe that's just a fantasy. Now you got to get used to normal sex.
Yeah.
No. You got to use some normal sex.
Right. No doubt. That's a good point. Yeah. I like that. So this is good, right? That Maul brought that up because I feel like that's how you begin to navigate now, right? You got to get into, you got to be realistic.
He still feel like he wants to know. You don't feel like you got
that
answer?
I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay.
Basically, how do you navigate? I try to give a scenario that people might have a hard time navigating.
Absolutely.
That's
a real expectation of it's a fantasy.
All right, we're going to do a check-in. This is MSG, Money, Sex, Gen X. This is episode number 51. This is one of the best conversations I've ever had on this pod, so thank you all for joining in. Here's the topic again. You're not the person that they imagine. How do you navigate relationships when you are not living up to the hype? Okay? And we really got into this. So here's the next part of this conversation, you all. So Maul was talking about navigating, which I love. Here's a couple of things that I found doing a little bit of research. So first, you got to acknowledge there's a gap between reality and the fantasy, right? You got to do that. You might need some help. Might have to go to a professional. But look, I got these expectations. They're not being met. Is this a fantasy or is it reality that's not being met, right? So acknowledge the gap. I like this one. I want to know what Maul thinks about this and you all too. They say don't downplay it. So you had the amazing sex in the past. I think Stu was saying you need to get that out your head, but they're saying don't downplay it. Be honest with yourself and your partner about the mismatch. That sounds tough now. Sounds tough.
You have to be in relationships where you can be authentic and be you and be heard. Because if not, then it's not really built on truth. And then you're always operating in this fantasy space.
Yeah, like that. The next one was like have an honest conversation. Now, this stuff sounds good in theory, but it could be difficult, right? So it's like you sitting down talking to this person and you're trying to keep it real. Look, baby, I love you, but I had this homegirl like 4 years ago. She blew my mind sexually, and this is not meeting that. Now, you wouldn't say it like that, right? You wouldn't say it like that. You know what I mean? That sound like a pimp or something. Right? That's why I've been married 3 times. I've been talking crazy. Don't take advice from me, please. But there's a reason. You know what I mean? But try to discuss how it feels, right? If there's guilt, embarrassment, disappointment, try to do it. I guess might need some help again, somebody, right? I think these are good tips. And the last one, like validate each other's feelings. So you drop this bomb on somebody, or fellas, what if the woman dropped this bomb on you Hey, main man was really giving it to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you gonna be able to handle that? You know, that's where it gets tricky now. Yeah, I don't think most men. I don't think we can handle that, and I don't think most women would even bring that to us because they know we probably can't deal with it. You know what I mean? Yeah. She gonna go. So yeah, it's something to think about. So the next one was like reframe the narrative, right? So you could try to shift the focus from trying to measure up to trying to focus on building a real connection based on what's real. That part. Right? What you got to say about that?
That's just growth and maturity. Because I done had it at 17, 18. Yeah. I wasn't on this.
Sure.
This is growth and maturity, people. That's all it is, man.
Yeah. I wasn't on this last year. You know what I mean? So it's on this. I'm 52. I'm 52. I still ain't on it. You know what I mean? So it's cool. We all working on it. Yeah. Please don't. Yeah. Exactly. And maybe this. Here's another one I like. So highlight the things that are good and the things that you all do share. And I've learned this. Now, here's one thing I learned from being married. You got to find what makes your relationship. Oh, okay. Here's what I learned from being married 3 times. You got to hone in on like what made your relationship work. I'm going to give you an example. One of my wives, our thing was 2 things, man. And we got away from it when we had seeds together. Getting drunk and food.
That's what y'all was.
That was our thing. That was our thing. Because when it went away, we fell out. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, what happened? She like, what happened? But that was our thing. Like we got so caught up in the kids, we didn't take that time to drink the little wine or the whiskey or whatever and eat the food. You know what I mean? So I think that's important. Focus on that. Yeah. While you worried about homegirl from 10 years ago, you know, these are the things that your current situation what made it work and made it special. So I think that's really good advice.
That's real good having that honest conversation. That's a good one.
Now I got 2 more here I want to go through with you all. Beautiful conversation again. So like taking ownership and trying to grow. So if your partner's fantasy was unrealistic, now we got to set some boundaries. And I think this is a big one, you all. We got to set some boundaries. So you know, I can't do what main man was doing, the stuff he was talking about. You can't do what homegirl was talking about. How do we meet in the middle and set some boundaries, right? Which could be a tough conversation. I think is helpful. If there's areas where you can grow better, like communicate better, be empathetic, try to relate, commit to that growth without feeling like you're a failure. So she comes to you and says, Stu, I need you to be XYZ. You know you're not there. It doesn't mean you're a failure. It just could be something you choose to work on. Right. That's okay.
It's not an attack.
Doesn't have to be. Now, it depends on how they say it. You know what I mean? It could be.
So it depends on how you communicate with your partner too. So you can make sure that you're heard and you receive.
Absolutely.
So it might not be a direct conversation. If you know your person is a writer and they read books, leave them a note.
Yeah.
In their lunch or something like that. You know, find a way, and they don't have to respond right away.
Right.
So they don't feel attacked. They can respond at their time, but give them a moment to digest the information instead of wanting like a quick fix right now.
That's right.
So giving that grace as well.
I love that.
In this, I also want to add, I think that's a good point. I also want to add that we could all be a little more patient with each other and ourselves.
Yeah, definitely.
To that point where we are used to people responding instantaneously. Mm-hmm. And we kind of have to just be patient. Let people busy, people doing other stuff. They putting together podcasts. They're not checking their phone. Or they just need to digest what's being said.
Yeah.
So be patient.
Definitely.
That's a good one.
And I've learned that my co-host here is usually right about most things. So the last one on the list is something that Stu already said. And he said, it says, let go of the fantasy if needed.
If needed. Yeah.
You might need to let go of it, right? Sometimes the fantasy just it's just not going to happen, and that's okay. And then you're going to basically take a step back and try to find somebody that's more aligned with reality, not the fantasy. Think about that now. If you go outside and you're trying to find somebody based on a fantasy, that's going to be tough. It's going to be a rough day. You know what I mean? You're going out the door in a fantasy. You know what I'm saying? That's tough. But if you say, you know what, I'm not going out there like that today. I'm gonna go out there based in reality. That's a different day, Stu. It's a different day.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. So I like these are practical. I think we might need some help to do these, but I think they're doable.
Well, we actually have help.
Okay.
There's a free download.
Yes.
That you can subscribe to and download and answer some of these questions, take them to your partner, or just answer them for yourself. But let's not ignore it. I think this will help in all kinds of relationships, parent-child relationships, intimate relationships, siblings, co-workers, cousins. I think business partners, it could probably help there.
Yeah.
But take an inventory, and this worksheet will help you do that.
Absolutely. Yes. Get that download. And hey, Stu, man, I gotta congratulate you on just doing a great first live episode. This is dope, man.
This was dope, man. Thank you. Can we give it up for the Money Sex Next podcast, y'all?
This was good. This was good.
To everybody.
Yeah, no question. Yes, MSG. And I'm going to leave this with two things. So I got a burning question that we kind of talked about. So if we take this topic and ask the question, how do you bounce back when you don't live up to sexual expectations or sexual fantasy? How do you bounce back from that? I think that's a great question. Huh? Get in the gym. Yeah. Or Cameron got that pink horsepower. You might have to get that. You know what I mean? To help out. But I know, brothers, we don't want to hear we didn't measure up sexually, but it's something to think about. And ladies, there's times where you all don't measure up sexually. I know that's a rough way to say that. But sometimes it's just not what we want or what we feel like we need. And so think about how you can bounce back from that, and move forward. All right. So look, peace to everybody who came out and supported the show. We taking this to the next level. Me and Stu about to start doing these events where we bring in a bunch of people for a networking event, drinks and music, little DJ and all that, have an experience. That's coming soon. We're going to partner with Maul and others and make this happen. We got the streaming audio. Join us on Patreon. We want you. Get the download. And, get ready for the next episode.
Absolutely.
It's coming. All right.
What's the name of this studio?
Create Victory Studios.
All right. Shout out to Create Victory Studios for hosting us.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to doing more work with Create Victory Studios.
Yes,
no question.
And man,
come through. It's a great setup. Very relaxing. Got a great host. Come through. Definitely find them on Instagram. All of that. Yeah. Find them on IG. Come through. Get your pod done. It'll take a lot of work off of you. This has been the easiest we've ever had to do with a setup.
Amazing.
So I love it. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. All right. So until next time, you all, peace. Before we close today's episode, a quick heads up. This show isn't just about talk. It's about movement for those building a legacy. It's about helping people heal from the past and level up in life. Real conversations that matter. If you're vibing with the message, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with somebody that needs to hear it. Peace.